What up, YouTube? I'm back with another deck profile. This time is of the Burning Abyss. I just barely finished the deck, and even then it's not really complete. I'm still waiting for one last card in the mail. But yeah, I topped with this at my locals this past Sunday. It was a very small local, so I only went 4-0. But I mean, it was still undefeated. I beat the mirror match, I beat the Satellers, so I feel pretty good with the deck. So let's get into it. I run the standard 9, so 3 Graph, 3 Seer, and the 3 Skarm. I run this because it just opens up a lot of your plays. The Skarm searches out your tour guide since she's at 1. It's really sad. The Seer brings back whatever the hell you want. The Graph searches out whatever the hell you need. It's the standard 9 cards. You just run these. And then I run 2 Farfa. I used to run them at 3, but 3 got way cloggy. I saw them way too often. Drop them down to 2. I know a lot of people are running 1, but there's some cards that you just can't get over, and the Farfa helps out with a lot. So I run the 2 of. I run the 2 Libic. I run 2 Libic because I tend to go into my extra deck a lot more than other standard Burning Abyss players, which in turn means that I'm going to a lot more than just the Dante. So I need the Libic to be able to get out monsters so I can open up my plays. And for my 1 of Burning Abyss monsters, just to add a little bit more of a name, I run the 1 Rubik, 1 Barbar, and I run 1 Dragig. A lot of people don't run Dragig. I tend to side him out a lot because he's not as needed, but I like him there in case, like, if I have him, I'll use him, and he's a good card in certain situations. For my non-Burning Abyss monsters, I run the 1 Tour Guide. I run Tour Guide because it's Tour Guide. When she was at 3, you ran 3. You need this to open up any of your extra deck plays. Tour Guide is amazing. I run 2 Math Man. 2 Math Man to open up a lot more plays. You can send a Libic to summon 1 from your hand. You can send anybody just to get a little bit more effects off. I run 2 Crane Crane. A lot of people don't run Crane Crane. It's more of a late game monster. But I've noticed, and I was told that a lot of people that go to Worlds, I don't know if this is true or not, but a lot of people that go to Worlds tend to use Crane Crane in the Burning Abyss build because it grabs the level 3 monster from your grave, negating its effects. So you can grab a Burning Abyss, summon him back to the field, go into a rank 3, pop the Burning Abyss off the Exceed monster, gain his effect, you know, blah blah blah. I feel Crane Crane's a really good card for this deck. And for my last 2 cards, I run the King himself, Mr. Backjack. He is also another side card. I side him out a lot for like Effect Veiler and other things, but when I see him in the grave, it is amazing because I can stack the top 3 cards in my deck. If there's a trap card in there, I will top deck that, pop his effect off by banishing him during my opponent's turn to set that trap, and I'm as good as gold. That's it for the monsters. It's a 23 card monster lineup, so it's a decent amount. And for the spells, I run 5 spells. I run 1 Regeki, because Regeki. I run 2 Dark Holes, because you're not going to minus from this card. You blow up your own monsters, you're just plussing insane amounts while getting rid of your opponent's monsters. So Regeki, or the Regeki with the 2 Dark Holes, I feel is really good. I run the 1 Foolish to, again, open up a little more plays, because it's a Foolish. For the last spell card, I run 1 Terminus. I run 1 Terminus because I like to go into Mr. Pilgrim. I don't go into him a lot. I tend to use Terminus's banish effect to target and gain 800. But when I do go into the big 28 beater himself, it tends to be a really good game. That's the 5 spell cards. Now for the traps. I run 12 traps. I run 12 traps. And so it is a 40 card deck. I run 12 traps. I start off with the 2 Fire Lakes. A lot of people only run 1 because it's not as viable and they want the discard trap cards in there. But I like the Fire Lake because if I have a chance to blow their field, I'm going to do it. For my discards, I run 2 Phoenix Wing. A lot of people run 3. Some people run 1. I like 2 Phoenix Wing because it gets rid of troublesome cards that you can't get over, and trap cards like the Vanities or the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Phoenix Wing's a really good out to Floodgates, so I run him at 2. I run the 1 Karma Cut. I run this at 1 mainly because I only have the 1, but I don't see a need for 2 because, like, yeah, it's got the discard, but like I don't see the need for it. I like to just open up the field, like by bouncing cards back to the hand, or with the Regeki Dark Hole plays. I don't like banishing because if I use Karma Cut, I want to use its full effect and banish all 3 of them. I don't want to just banish 1 to get it out of there right then. So that's my reasoning for only running 1 Karma Cut. I run the 2 Breakthrough Skill. I run this in a lot of decks, as you may have seen, but I like the Breakthrough Skill because it negates effects and then you can banish from grave during your main phase to negate effects 1 more time. It's a good card. It's a out to Trish. It's an out to a lot of other things like Dark Rebellion. A lot of the cards that will hurt this deck a lot. Breakthrough Skill's there to save the day. I run 2D Prism. 2D Prism because, like, its main effect is to only banish 1, and I only use it if I need to. If I'm in a sticky situation, I'll just de-prison the monster away, and I'm solid after that. And for my final 3, as my one-ofs, I run 1 Crush card, 1 Torrential, and 1 Vanities. I run Torrential as well because same reason for Dark Hole, you just plus off of it. I run the Crush card because there's a lot of cards in the deck. A lot of them tend to be under 1,000. You've got your Backjacks, you've got your Rubiks, you've got your Skarms, you've got your Farfas, and you've got your Graphs that are all Crush card targets. And this card hurts a lot of decks, like Satellar's it hurts. It tends to, like, it can hurt Infernoids, but at the same time, like, it'll just give them the banishing fodder. But Crush card's a really good card. It helps out a lot. And the Vanities, because the Vanities just set up your extra deck field, drop the Vanities, and your opponent most of the time has nothing to do. So that's it for the main deck. It is a 40 card main deck, 23 monsters, 5 spells, and 12 traps. Now let's get into the extra deck. I run the 3 Dante. Again, my 3rd Dante is in the mail, but then again, it is null and void because I did top with just the 2 Dantes, beating the Mirror Match and the Satellars. But it is Burning Abyss, so you are going to run the 3. Then I run the 1 Virgil and the 1 Pilgrim. I used to run 2 Virgil, but there's no need for 2 Virgil. There's so many other cards that you can use. And with the fact that I'm only running 1 Rubik, you're not going to be using for sinking like all that often. You're going to go into them once at most. So there's that. I run 2 Downard. 2 Downard because, like, a lot of people run 3, but I don't see a need for the 3 because I go into other cards over the Downard. I go into her maybe once or twice a duel, so I don't see the need for 3. So I just run the 2 of the Downards. I run 1 Acid Golem. I don't run Skill Drain in the deck, but I run Acid Golem mainly just to push for game. Like, I tend to not keep him down to the last exceed. I'm normally taking game before then, or he's getting destroyed at some point. I run 1 Fortune Tune because, I mean, gaining life points is always the best thing ever. And the fact that you're insured at least 1,000 life points with this card out is just amazing, because there's sometimes you get really low, you're in a pickle, you just drop the Fortune Tune, gain your life back. Once he's gone, go into a Dante and just go for game. I run 1 Leviathan and 1 Nightmare Shark. Leviathan, I've gone into him maybe once. I never go into Leviathan Dragon. I don't see a need for him. This card I'm going to be taking out if and when we get Beatrice the Eternal Lady. This card is definitely going out for at least 1 Beatrice. I run the Nightmare Shark again, push for game, detach 1, swing for 2k direct. It's like a Heartland Draco, but it's rank 3. So you can go into it with this deck. I run the 1 Zen Mains, Summon and Defense. You all know the gist with Zen Mains. It's a good card. It's rank 3. It's just another name. It'd probably be taken out for Beatrice. I don't 100% know yet. But we've got the Zen Mains just for the popping and just kind of have like a little stall effect. Alucard. You can't use this floating effect because it's obviously not Ghost Tricks. But it's a great card. There's set cards that you are afraid of. You just drop the Alucard, get rid of it, and do whatever you have to do. It's a good card. I've gone into him a couple times when I go up against people with a lot of back row, like the Tellers and Shaddols. I just pop the Alucard. The Engineer. In case there's something like a big beater that I'm scared of, go into Engineer. Whoever they decide to attack, I save it. Switching it to defense, take no damage. It's an Engineer. It's a good card. And lastly, this is the Giga Brilliant, the obvious gain 300, rank 3 monster. He's been around forever. I run Giga Brilliant. He was a lot of my OTK plays. I'd go into 2 Dantes with a Giga Brilliant on the field. Well, 2 Dantes and then the Giga Brilliant. I'd boost them up to 25. Summon the Giga Brilliant, detach, boost them up to 28. One of these 3 would normally have a bar attached to them. So if there's an open field with that 900 burn, you're dealing massive damage and you are taking game right then and there. That sums it up for the extra deck.